Hey guys, welcome to the channel. This is DJ Anime here, and I am going to be doing a WWE Money in the Bank 2018 prediction show with a special guest, Jake DeMarco, Countdown Ended, and we are going to go over the Money in the Bank match card, and we're going to give you our predictions. So hope you guys all enjoy. All right, here
Well,
we.
Liz, thank you so much for having me. I really appreciate it. Been looking forward to doing this with you for quite some time. So thank you for
Oh,
having me on here.
no problem, no problem. Always want to do it with other people. It makes it more interesting.
Yeah, absolutely. We were talking a bit beforehand, and unfortunately, the build to this show has been anything but exciting. But WWE, typically has a track record where the worse the build, the better the show it seems to be. So
Yeah,
I, I
exactly.
I'm hoping. I'm trying to be positive on this one and be a little bit optimistic. There's certainly a chance for some matches to shine brightly. So
Oh, totally.
ho- hopefully they surprise us and give us a good night. And speaking of which, starting off on the kickoff show, we have the SmackDown Tag Team Championship match between the Bludgeon Brothers, who are the current champions, against the Club, Luke Gallows and Carl Anderson.
All
Who do you
right.
think is going to take this match?
Well, I can't believe this match. There hasn't been much build to this match, that is for sure. So, probably the Bludgeon Brothers will probably win and keep their belts. I don't know why it's on the kickoff show, but, it is what it is. But I'm going to go with the Bludgeon Brothers on that one.
Yeah, I'm going to agree with you here. I do see the club eventually winning and having their time to shine, their moment in the sun. They've certainly earned that right. They've put in the work for since what they arrived 2 years ago after
Mm-hmm.
WrestleMania.
Yep.
They've certainly done quite a lot in the business, but they never really got that chance to have their comeuppance. They were the champions for a little bit on Raw, but even that felt like they were placeholders for the Hardys.
Mm-hmm.
I think on SmackDown they can sort of reinvent themselves and go ahead and shine in the division. So a good solid feud is what they need, and especially with Sanity on their way up, they'll have a plethora of opponents to feud with. But I don't think Money in the Bank is going to be their night. I think they're going to put on a great match though, especially being on the kickoff show and this being the only match on the pre-show. I think they'll give them probably like 10, 15 solid minutes.
Right.
And we know Luke Harper, Eric Rowan are very agile for big guys. Same thing with the club. And, they hardly disappoint when given enough time. So I think it'll be a good match, but the Bludgeon Brothers will retain.
Yeah, I agree with you there. The Bludgeon Brothers will keep their belts because I don't know who else they're going to go against after the club's the next question. So.
Yeah. I mean, if the rumors are true that Sanity is coming up as of, as soon as next week, even, I think that's where we'll end up seeing them,
Yeah.
in their next feud. So, and that could be really
That'll be an
exciting.
interesting feud. Sanity, the crazy insanity people versus the Bludgeon Brothers. Yeah, that'll work.
Yeah, I mean Eric Young alone, I've been dying to see what he can do on the main roster. So certainly a lot of interest to be had there, which
Yeah,
makes me think even more that they'll retain tonight.
yeah, I agree. They'll probably they'll hang on to the tag titles this time.
To kick off the show, next up we have Bobby Lashley against Sami Zayn.
Oh boy, the match.
Yeah,
This match. Oh my god.
this is originally what I slated as the first bathroom break, and
Well,
if
I
they're going
agree
to
with
open
you
the
there.
show,
I don't know. I mean, I still think the Roman Jinder Mahal match would be the bathroom break match, but
yeah, we got one bathroom break and another one to refill on refreshments.
yeah, this
This
could be the
match,
bathroom break. This could be the bathroom break match, and then Jinder and Roman would be the let's go grab a snack.
yeah, the refill. And I don't quite understand why they're facing each other still. Bobby shows no emotion except, coming out smiling,
Which I hate.
regardless of what, shade Sammy's thrown at him. Sammy was upset because Bobby loves his sisters and he served in the military. Like it baffles me as to what they were trying to convey here. It
Yeah.
came across as very childish and pointless. We went from a terrible ESPN like interview with Bobby to
Mhm.
Sammy calling him out to cross dressing local indie talent to an obstacle course. Every bit of it has been cringeworthy and
Yeah,
totally fell flat.
it's been pretty bad. I was kind of like
It's been awful.
I didn't watch the obstacle course thing, but I saw highlights and I was like, "Oh, wait a minute, is this American Ninja Warrior on Raw?"
Yeah, you saved yourself for that much. I mean, that was another one that it could have been handled much differently. And again, they shot themselves in the foot. So
Yeah,
you were
Bobby
better off not
Lashley
seeing that.
has he hasn't wrestled hardly. He hasn't done any matches. It's like all he
This will
does
be
is
his
come out.
first singles match since he's returned.
Yeah, it's like all he does is come out and smile. I'm like, quit smiling.
We've seen him in a few tag team matches,
Yeah.
and he lost with Braun Strowman.
Right.
So, he hasn't had a singles victory, and neither has Sammy in ages.
Yeah. Well,
So both men really, really need the singles victory here. But being that it's Bobby's first singles match, I'm predicting that he comes out on top. I don't see another way around it. If he doesn't tear Sami Zayn apart, then something's seriously wrong.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with Lashley too, just because it's his first actual single match. So it's like surely he's gonna win. I mean, they wouldn't have him lose.
I really don't see how they could at this point. It would baffle me if they pulled it, any other way but him winning.
Yeah.
Even if they tried to do some type of, screw job finish, I can't see them putting that type of heat on Sami Zayn and to ruin Lashley even more.
Right.
He's already not a believable, entertainer or credible threat to anything. And if they have future plans with him trying to go for a championship, heaven forbid if they don't let him start winning now.
Oh yeah, that's the truth.
Yeah.
But
Next
I don't
up,
know. I mean, he's a different Lashley than what I saw when he was on the Impact Wrestling.
Oh yeah, night and day difference. At least there he was intimidating and he was able to formulate a sentence. Now he stumbles all over his words and all he does is smile.
Yeah, he comes out smiling. He's like Finn Balor. I was like, quit smiling already. Do something.
At least Finn it fits with. And when Finn has to be serious, he's serious. And when
totally.
he has to clap back, he's able to come out with at least some witty retort.
All right.
Bobby just gets insulted and takes it, with a grain of salt, smiling the entire time. It's maddening. Very frustrating. So
yeah, it's
the bathroom break match. I envision this going over very quietly in the crowd, and I don't think people really care. Hopefully it'll be quick. I picked Bobby as well as you. So next up we have the IC Championship match. This is probably my contender for match of the night, or at least one of. We got Mr. Monday Night Seth Rollins taking on the Drifter Elias. Right off the bat, originally I was thinking Elias might take it, but with all the rumors being so heavily presented that Roman's gonna, continue to go for the title, then rumors changed again that, oh, look at that, Brock's taking his ball and going home and not defending anymore.
Yep.
So we're not going to see him at Extreme Rules. We're probably not going to see him at SummerSlam if the rumors are to believed. So that makes me think that they obviously need a number one champion and someone to be the face of Raw continually. Mm-hmm. So I think that's going to lead to Seth retaining tonight.
Yeah, I agree with you. I've got Seth winning, retaining his title. That match should be a really good one, though.
Oh, I think it's going to be an excellent bout. I mean, these two have had great matches previously. Seth has been on fire between that gauntlet match that he wrestled for well over an hour. Mm-hmm. He showed just such ingenuity and prowess, and he's just been absolutely fantastic.
Yeah, he's been
6-star
on fire.
Competitor. Absolutely. He's ready to burn it down.
Yeah.
I've loved everything that he's done. He's great on the mic. He's great in the ring. He's just an all-around fantastic performer. He should be the Universal Champion right now. He really should be in my eyes.
Oh, yeah, I totally agree.
I originally thought that he was going to drop the belt tonight via Elias cheating, and then he would lose the rematch again, but then he would go ahead and challenge Brock at SummerSlam instead of Roman. But I don't see Brock being around for that. So they're going to need a champion that's pretty solid, and I think they're just going to keep it on, Seth at this point.
Yeah, I agree with you there. Yeah, I think Rollins will win, keep his title. And that match could be one of the matches of the night, so,
Yeah, regardless, it'll be entertaining. Next up, we have Daniel Bryan versus Big Cass. What do you think is going to happen here?
Well, hopefully Daniel Bryan's going to win.
I'm with you there. I mean, the build originally to their first match at Backlash, I was all about. I was for it, and it happened as we predicted it. That Daniel Bryan would win, and then Big Cass would go ahead and beat him down afterwards. And I don't think they went far enough with the beatdown. And then unfortunately, Big Cass got injured, and it was just dead in the water. They said that he got punished for attacking the little person that he wasn't supposed to, and even backstage politicking aside, I felt like he never recovered from being forced to tap out to Daniel Bryan. I think Daniel should have gotten him with a roll up or some other type of quick maneuver.
Yeah.
And, take advantage of a rookie mindset that is Big Cass versus actually making him tap. They made him look so weak there that it's hard to believe that Daniel isn't going to win tonight. They have this ring veteran with all this knowledge.
Right.
And they make him look like an assassin. They really do, where he's able to come up with all these different submission maneuvers and get out of any sticky situation. So Cass's size and advantage there doesn't really have any, excessive amount of power.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. I see Daniel Bryan winning again. I mean, I don't like Big Cass anyway, so
Yeah,
I mean,
I don't think he's straight enough from his old gimmick to really feel like he's anything different. I think they needed to, he's the one that could have benefited from a haircut.
Yeah.
We were talking about this on the Jabroni Jobber podcast the other day, and I really think that would have made a big difference. They've changed his theme music a few too many times to, even this current one isn't really that identifiable. You hear it and you're like, wait, who's this?
Yeah, who is this?
You still look at him and you still think, 7 foot tall, and you can't teach that.
Yeah, exactly. When he came out, I was like, oh, it's the guy that does what used to be with Enzo Amore. Okay.
Exactly. I don't think they did enough to work with him to be, a different.
He needs something different. A new gimmick.
Something. He needs to be reinvented badly. He was doing well on the mic too. He seemed believable. He had proper motivations, but he just wasn't able to back it up. So I agree with you. Yet again, I think Daniel Bryan is going to come out on top here.
Yes.
I think we're going to see Daniel move on to bigger and better things.
Yeah, hopefully against The Miz.
Yeah, I think this is the catalyst for him to go and start facing The Miz for SummerSlam.
Oh, they need to do that.
Yeah, that's been brewing for far too long, since everything that happened on Talking Smack.
Oh, that. Oh, yeah, Daniel Bryan hadn't forgot about that.
And the fact that, they even had bad blood beforehand when they went back to, Daniel's time in NXT. So. Next match we have is Roman Reigns versus Jinder Mahal.
The snack break time.
Sorry, I fell asleep just reading that. No one cares. No matter what they did here with the Singh brothers.
I don't care match.
Exactly. And I the thing is, I do want to like Roman. I had said this, yesterday and whatnot. When you think of other big men that Vince have pushed in the past, Ezekiel Jackson, Vladimir Kozlov, the great Khali, at least Roman can wrestle. He's not horrendous on the mic. He's not great either. But when they don't script him as much, I think he works a little bit better. But at least he can put on decent matches. He's not, he only has a limited moveset, granted. He's not AJ Styles.
No.
But he's also not, a total waste in the ring. So
yeah,
I genuinely feel bad for him in a sense, just because he hasn't been able to alter the card he's been handed. As were The Rock and Stone Cold, when they got a role they didn't like, the Ringmaster or Rocky Maivia, they were able to reinvent their character, develop into what they wanted to be, and they challenged Vince's ideas. And, they came out of their shell and they made their own personalities larger than life, and they got over with the crowd. And unfortunately, Roman, what do we know about him? What are his intentions and motivations? That he's the big dog and you better believe that?
Yeah.
He's got a few catchphrases, but that's it. He has no personality, really. He's a bit cocky and arrogant, but it's unfortunate because he really could be that marquee superstar. I mean, you've said that before as well, but
yeah, he could easily be that. But it's like, I don't know. It's just like, I don't know if he needs to get away from the Shield gimmick thingy. I think he just needs to do something. I don't know, something.
Yeah, another one like Big Cass. That they wanted everyone to like him so much, and since everyone was enamored and loved the Shield, they kept the music, but at that point in time, you figured Dean Ambrose got a new look and new music. Seth Rollins got a new look and new music.
Exactly.
Even with Seth looking like a Power Ranger in a trash bag, he still went ahead and was able to be more diverse.
Oh, totally.
Roman never shed his Shield SWAT gear, and that was a huge problem from there on out. He really could have started coming out in a suit or You know, he could have. There was multiple ways it could have been handled.
Yeah, well,
But
he did that at NXT. He actually had a suit when he was in
yeah,
NXT one time. There's a
yeah,
promo on YouTube about it. I saw it. I was like,
you had sent it to me.
why can't
That's
we
what I'm
get
referring to.
this Roman Reigns?
That's the Roman that would be best for business. You
Yeah,
know,
I mean, it's like come out in a suit and say, do whatever,
exactly. Have that attitude, that real cocky,
It's like,
narcissistic.
you're on my time
attitude.
now.
Exactly, and we've seen him do it. You sent me the video. He certainly can handle it.
I mean, he can do it.
That's what
It's
needs
just
to
that
be done.
it's just like they want to script him to do all this other stuff, and I'm just kind of like, let him talk.
let him be himself. I don't want to hear, potato spud suffering succotash.
Yeah. When he started spewing that, saying that, I was like, really?
And that's the scriptedness coming out.
As
Whoever
the Miz
wrote
would
that
say,
should be fired and shot.
Really?
Really? So
And to believe
Roman's
that,
going to win here. I think the
and the
Singh
thing
brothers, they're going to try, but they're not going to.
I mean, the
They're not
thing
going
is,
to be able to overcome.
to believe that thing, it's like I hear that from an anime series I used to watch. I'm like, I get tired of hearing that catchphrase.
Yeah, it's real redundant.
And it's like the big dog. Okay, we know he's the big dog. You don't have to say it every time he comes out. Michael Cole.
Yeah, Michael gets a little too.
He gets a little too excited when he comes out. He's like, "It's the big dog," and I'm like, "Yeah, okay, who cares?"
He gets scary levels of excitement there when he
And the crowd doesn't
marches
care.
his way
The crowd
down.
boos him. I don't care where you go. He gets booed everywhere he goes. It's like I've been there
And to
live and
think
in
he used to
person.
come from
I've
the
heard
ring.
it. It's like, yeah, it's everybody's like, "Oh, they cheer him." I'm like, "No, they don't. They boo the heck out of him."
Yeah, they have to pipe in fake audio to
It's
make
like
him.
at WrestleMania when he wrestled the Undertaker. It's like as soon as his music hit, it was just a massive loud boo from 70 something thousand people. So,
Oh yeah, that must have been one heck of a chorus of boos.
oh,
That's
that
for
was
sure.
loud. There was a loud. Yeah, that was pretty loud. But I was kind of like, and this guy beside me was like, "Yeah, Roman Reigns." I'm sitting there going, "Oh my God, you're a Roman Reigns fan."
I can only imagine, how just absolutely deafening those cheers
Oh,
must have been.
it was pretty. When the Undertaker came out, it was a whole lot louder. So
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, watching that match, I was like, I can't believe I'm watching Roman Reigns wrestle the Undertaker, and he won. I was like, what? And Roman won. I was like, this is not the way it's supposed to work.
No, I don't think anybody believed that that's the outcome that we were going to get.
Well, the thing is, when they announced the match at WrestleMania that year, they were like, oh, this is a no holds barred match. I was like, wait a minute, when did it become a no holds barred match?
Yeah, they'd really changed them up like randomly after the fact. I think they just wanted to make people get behind the gimmick, of the match itself.
Yeah, they changed.
Since everybody was
they
booing.
added that stipulation, and I'm like, oh, wait a minute, when did they add this?
Yeah, it was very, very, very random. That's for sure.
Yeah, I was kind of like, well, this might be interesting after all. No, never mind. Roman
won.
Roman
just couldn't handle it. That's for sure.
Roman still won. I was kind of like, man, oh God, that was awful. I hated watching that match. I was like, everybody around us was like, oh, the Undertaker lost, and then he started doing his little, taking all the stuff off, and I was like, oh, no, I don't want to see this.
No one wanted to see him lose or retire.
No, and the thing is, technically, I don't think he actually is retired.
No, and he handled it in such a way that it was a beautiful send-off. As much as we didn't want it to happen, and especially in such a manner.
Yeah.
With him disrobing and removing all of his Undertaker gear, he went over and kissed his wife, and
yeah, he did all that.
Raised
I was like,
his arm and was lowered into the stage with the smoke. It was perfect. It was tear-jerking and emotional, and it was a great send-off.
Oh yeah,
and
nobody. And
after
the next thing year. Is. After he left, after the Undertaker went down to did his thing, I mean the crowd was still like chanting, thank you Taker and all this stuff, and I was and nobody wanted to leave. Everybody was crying. There's people all around me crying, and it's like this is like crazy stuff. So they should have just left it the way it was and let him retire. But
would have been great. And then Roman, still should have turned heel right after that.
Yep,
that would have been even better.
Uh-huh.
Such a terrible,
Well, they had the thing is after the Undertaker went off, he how he has all his fire that shoots up out of the out of the stage area. They had one of the fireballs apparently caught something on fire on stage. I was actually videoing the Undertaker's thing, and all I see is this big thing of black smoke, and I was like, why is there black smoke over there? And
burning part of the stage down.
And the thing is, I panned my phone over to where the stage was, and there's like all these guys trying to put out the fire. I was like, oh man, the stage is on fire. I was like, oops.
He wanted to go out with a bang, that's for sure.
He definitely did that. And I was kind of like,
taking the stage out with him.
Yeah, but that stage was crazy.
That was one of the better ones too.
That was the roller coaster stage. I was like, seeing that thing up close. I'm like going, wow, that's impressive.
I like this year too, but that one was just so awe-inspiring. That's for sure. Oh. It really was just that interesting. Next up, we have the SmackDown Women's Championship match. We have the champion Carmella, Mella's Money, taking on Asuka, the Empress of Tomorrow. All the rumors of Ellsworth returning.
Yeah.
That kind of muddies this for me, but I think Carmella is going to retain here. I don't see Asuka winning yet. She will eventually become women's champion, but I don't see it happening just yet. I think they're going to still stick with Carmella.
Yeah.
And we'll see how it goes from here. But I think by SummerSlam, maybe she'll capture it.
Yeah, I kind of agree with you on that, too. I don't think it's her time quite yet. But Carmella, yeah, I got Carmella winning as well. Unless somebody from SmackDown wins the women's Money in the Bank and then they cash in. Who knows? But I don't know when they're going to do these matches, so I don't know how they're going to set.
The only thing we know so far, and that's not even a definite, but it at least is being reported, is that the Raw Women's Championship will be going on last as the main event. So.
Oh, well, we know something. Well, that's interesting.
Yeah, something will have to happen there. So.
Yeah, if they're going to put that on last, something's going to have to happen on that one. But.
Kind of makes sense. I know Ronda's one of their biggest stars right now, but with the match reportedly going to be short and whatnot, we'll go into the women's Money in the Bank is next. So we have Natalya, Alexa Bliss, Charlotte Flair, Sasha Banks, Becky Lynch, Lana, Ember Moon, and Naomi. This is a stacked match in terms of talent here, and you can pretty much make an argument for each one of these women that they have a right towards capturing that briefcase. I could picture pretty much almost every one of them here winning. All except maybe two, Lana and Naomi. I don't feel like really have much of a chance. But Charlotte, obviously, impressive women's champion. She's accomplished a lot in the business, and she has a lot to return from after losing, her title to Carmella.
Right.
Coming off of a big win at Mania. Sasha Banks and Becky Lynch have not been champion, themselves in over a year at this point in time.
Right.
So they have both, done great things in the business, had some fantastic matches. Alexa Bliss, she's coming off of a loss to Nia Jax. She was Raw and SmackDown Women's Champion at one point in time. She's been very impressive. She's had some great title defenses under her belt, so I could see her going ahead and walking away with the briefcase. Ember Moon has looked great since she came up to the main roster. She's beat some, pretty high-name talent. And Lana, I don't really see her winning, but I think she's going to be the wild card of this match in the sense that everyone wants to see what she's going to do in a ladder match.
Right. Yeah.
And Naomi kind of feels like a bit of a filler here. Unfortunately, she is talented, but I don't envision her winning just with the way that her storylines have been so just distanced from anything having to do with a title.
Right. Yeah, so, I don't see Naomi being the winner. So
no, I'd like, for as far as who I want to win, I'd like to see Becky Lynch win, but I think Natalya is going to win because I think she's going to turn on her quote unquote best friend Ronda Rousey.
Yeah, I'd like to see Becky Lynch win or Sasha Banks. But Natalya looks like probably who would I go for as well. For that one, and cash in on her so-called best friend. So,
that seems to be what the rumor mill is reporting at this point in time. Plus, Natalya's leading plus 160 at this point in time with the Vegas betting odds. Ooh. So that kind of seems to be what's going to happen, and it makes sense as well if they're going to have the women's championship match main event the show.
Right. Yeah.
So, that certainly gives time for the Money in the Bank to happen and then have the women go ahead and, the women's match go on last, and that'll give Natalya a chance to interfere.
Right. Yeah.
Or at least get involved in some way.
I don't think you'll see a cash in on the men's side tonight or tomorrow night.
No, I think they're going to hold on to that for quite a while. Speaking of which, for the men's match, we have Braun Strowman, The Miz, Samoa Joe, Kevin Owens, Finn Balor, Rusev, and Bobby Roode. In the same way I said, most of them could be potential winners for the women's, pretty much the same thing goes for the men. I would love to see Finn Balor go ahead, get the briefcase and be able to cash in on Brock Lesnar. But since Brock probably isn't going to be around anytime soon, and it's with Raw already getting the women's Money in the Bank, I think it's got to be someone from SmackDown. So process of elimination, I'm down to The Miz or Samoa Joe. And the way they booked Braun lately, he is just an absolute unstoppable monster. He got decimated on Monday night. He got destroyed and tore apart, and he still was able to come back and win the match.
Yeah.
I had said on Joe's show, they've booked him so strong that if he doesn't win this match, then someone in creative needs to die, because it's just the way they booked him. He's Superman.
Right.
He's more unstoppable than Roman Reigns and a locomotive combined. But I don't think they're going to go with him for this. I really think it's going to be someone on the SmackDown side. And unless everyone teams up to stop Braun, which they tried to do on Monday and were unsuccessful, I originally said Samoa Joe, but I'm now kind of heavily more leaning towards The Miz.
That's what I'm leaning towards. That's what I'm actually leaning toward, is The Miz.
Yeah, I keep going back and forth between the two. I can really see Samoa Joe benefiting from this. The Miz has so many accolades. He's accomplished so much. He doesn't really need the briefcase to get a title shot. I could see him immediately going against AJ Styles and everyone being okay with it.
Right.
Samoa Joe, on the other hand, I think would benefit more from the briefcase. I think that creatively he would, end up making out better than anybody else would. It would make him look even more of a threatening, ominous,
right. Yeah.
monstrosity to deal with.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with The Miz too. That's who I think.
I'm really stuck. Like, it's a coin toss. So if you're gonna say Miz, then I'll just say Samoa Joe for now. We'll differ up a little bit, but we'll at least not align on all of it.
There you go.
And next up, we have the last man standing match. AJ Styles, the champion that runs the place, versus Shinsuke Nakamura. Who do you have winning this one?
I don't know, man. This is I don't know, man. To be honest with you, I mean, I like both of them.
Yeah, both favorites here for both of us.
I mean, it's the last man standing match. I mean, I don't know how this is going to go. I mean, you could have AJ Styles win, and that would end the feud, or you could have Nakamura win, and then Styles has a rematch at the next, the next pay-per-view. I mean, I don't know.
Yeah, I'd like to see AJ win and have this feud be done and over with. But sadly, if that happens, this really tarnishes Nakamura's, legacy so far in the main roster.
Yeah.
He hasn't accomplished much. I thought he would have won at Mania, and he's lost every single bout, all 4 of them that they've had so far.
Mm-hmm.
I know they both lost with one of them not answering the 10 count. That's what makes this last man standing match kind of an odd stipulation as well. I would have preferred an Iron Man match.
Yeah, I would love to see an Iron Man match.
Yeah, the last man standing match is a bit bizarre, just because we've already seen them both not answer the 10 count when they had the double, crotch kick DQ finish.
Double low blow.
Yeah, but I think Nakamura has to win this one. I really do. I think that they want to keep the feud going till SummerSlam, which I really don't want to see. I'd like to see, this be one of the times someone not get a rematch, but him and AJ will face off again, and then it'll finish off at SummerSlam. And,
right. Yeah.
I mean, but you figure at that time, that's 7 matches total in as many as, 4 months. That's a lot.
It's a lot of matches for 2 guys. I mean, it's like...
Yeah, for main event, caliber matches. Hopefully, this is the New Japan-esque, match that we finally deserve to see.
I hope so.
Because I've been disappointed with every one of their bouts so far.
Yeah, hopefully this one will be the better out of all of them. But yeah, I would like to see Nakamura win it just because he needs to win it. I mean, he's done such a good job with all his heel tactic things. His no speak English.
Yeah, his promos have improved. His way to get into the head of AJ has been outstanding.
He changed his theme music so everybody can't sing along with it anymore. It's like,
yeah,
You know.
Oh, good luck singing along with the Japanese lyrics now.
Oh, yeah. Trust me, I've tried. It don't work.
It's not happening.
I can't. I can't even. I tried to listen to it. I'm like, what are they saying?
You catch a little bit here and there, but
You know.
yeah, all in all, I really envision Nakamura winning this one. I think he has to. So the Vegas odds has them tied evenly at a negative 120 each. So even they don't know who's going to win. They have no favorite.
Yeah, nobody has a favorite on that one. I don't know how that one's going to go. So I mean, if they wanted to continue this thing, they're going to have Nakamura win. And then AJ goes for a rematch, gets his rematch at Extreme Rules.
I'm thinking, that's what's going to happen here. That's what makes the most sense, anyways.
Well,
but
WWE
as you know,
doesn't make
WWE
sense.
Logic, yeah, their
WWE Logic. Think about it. WWE Logic we're talking about here.
And last but not least, the main event of the evening is Nia Jax, the champion on the Raw's women's side, taking on the up-and-coming, if you want to call her that, Ronda Rousey. So Rowdy Ronda here is, going to be stepping in the ring solo for the first time. First singles match, going to be main eventing here. It makes sense for her to win the title because she's going into the UFC Hall of Fame.
Right.
So that accolade of her being WWE Women's Champion and also coming in with the belt to the UFC Hall of Fame does a lot for Vince and his ego. What does he get out of letting Ronda go there? Nothing. It doesn't. They're not going to advertise WWE as heavily as they've advertised UFC. So they've mentioned more with her lineage being a UFC champion and basically brought more attention to UFC than UFC has done for WWE.
Right.
So for her to walk in with the belt, I think that would be a pretty big deal. Unfortunately, though, if Ronda does win, a lot of people are saying, and we even possibly alluded to before, of Natalya cashing in. And this is something that they need to, if she wins, they have to handle carefully because they can't make Ronda look weak. They would have to have Natalya come out, raise her arm up. So, she's got the championship in one hand and then Natalya's holding the briefcase and then she clocks her with the briefcase, knocks her unconscious, cashes in. That would have to be the way to do it. They'd have to really make it, look like it was unexpected out of nowhere. And this way, Ronda still looks strong and protected.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. I think Ronda will probably win it. And who knows? We might see a cash in too. So.
Yeah, certainly a possibility. But I think regardless, Ronda is going to be our new women's champion. A lot of people feel like that's not what's going to happen here. But I'm saying right now, I think Ronda's going to win tonight or tomorrow night.
Tomorrow night.
NXT's tonight. I'm ahead of myself.
Yeah, takeovers tonight. Let's yeah.
Let's get through that first.
Let's get through that one. That one's gonna be a good one. But yeah, I agree. I think Ronda's probably gonna win. Probably see a cash in. I agree. I think that's gonna happen. Otherwise, they wouldn't have that match on last. So.
Yeah, it certainly makes sense for them to put that as the main event. Gives them a chance to do something special. So.
Yeah, I don't know why else would you have the match go on last if something's not gonna happen. So. But. I don't know.
That's for sure.
Doesn't make much sense if you have the women's match going on last if nothing's going to happen at the end. So
No, that's for sure.
But that's just the way I see it. That's the way I look at it. So.
But all in all, we agree with just about everything, and I think it is going to be a good night, so long as they handle things properly and they give them all enough time. I mean, it's a 4-hour show, so.
Yeah, they should give them all enough time. I mean, since they've made the pay-per-views longer now. So,
exactly. 10 matches. I certainly think it could be handled the right way and could be very entertaining. Despite the build, I think it'll be a good night.
Hopefully, Money in the Bank match. Money in the Bank usually is a pretty good one. So, and they made this one of their big fight, the big ones now. So, we'll see. But we got takeover to deal with tonight though. So.
Yeah, that no one can wait for. My expectations for that are through the roof. So.
Yeah, that one's going to be a good one. Yeah. That's the one everybody's looking forward to. So.
Absolutely. Can't wait. Ricochet and Velveteen.
That match.
I'm so excited for.
That match is going to have me at the edge of my seat all night.
Yeah, plus Gargano and Ciampa again.
Oh, Gargano and Ciampa. Oh, my goodness. Talk about a feud. Which they're doing right. Which they're doing it right. So,
That is one of the best feuds in the business today, hands down. They've let that build organically, and it's just gotten better as time went on.
No, it's really good. That's going to be a good one. Too many good matches on tonight.
Absolutely. Definitely a lot of them are hard to call as well. So
Oh yeah, it's hard to predict those. I mean, it's like, well, it could go either way.
that's for sure. So, well, thank you so much for letting me be a
Oh,
guest
no
on your
problem.
channel. I appreciate it greatly. It was great to finally, get together
Yeah,
and
man,
make our
we need to do
predictions
we'll
come
do this.
true.
Yeah, we'll do it again sometime. I enjoyed it very much. Thanks for coming on and hanging out.
Absolutely.
Because I know you got to get going, so I don't want to hold you up. So,
No, well, thank you so much again for having me. And, everyone make sure you hit the like button and subscribe down below and comment and think you should let us all know who you think is going to win
yeah.
at Money in the Bank 2018.
Yeah, man, we want to know what you guys think. Let us know. Thanks for watching, everybody. Everybody have a great rest of your day, and we'll do another one of these again soon. Till then, take care.